Alright guys, today is January the 18th, 2018, and this is page 8 in our binder. Alright, so today is going to be just kind of a summary of what we've been doing this week, where we're going to have to follow the properties of exponents. The one we're going to be using a lot is this one real quick, if you can copy it. Properties of powers, which are exponents. So we're going to be using this one a lot when we multiply powers, meaning we have a variable with an exponent times another variable, which is the same variable, but with a different exponent, even if it was the same. When we are multiplying variables, we add their exponent. That's the shortcut. So add exponents. Okay. So that's the one we're going to be using a lot today in this assignment. Alright, turn it back over. We'll bring it back, okay guys? Don't worry, we'll bring it back. Also, it's on the board. Alright, number 1. It says find the volume of the prism. How do we find volume? Very good. Length times width times height. So you pretty much just multiply all three dimensions. When I set up my volume, since they're all binomials, I need to make sure I use parentheses. I won't put anything in between, but we know if there's nothing, it's multiplication. When I multiply them, I cannot multiply all three at the same time. I'm going to have to start with just 2. So this is what we did yesterday when we would multiply the binomial. So we're going to do x times 3x first. Chris, what's x times 3x? 3x to the power of 2. Very good. Then we go to the next term, 2. Stevie, x times 2? X times 2. 2x. Very good. And then we go into the negative 5. Negative 5 times 3x, Michael? Negative 5 times 3x. Negative 15x. Negative 5 times 3x is negative 15x. Then, Monica, negative 5 times 2? Negative 10. Alright, so that takes care of the first two binomials. Let's simplify it. These two are like terms, so they will combine. 3x squared. And then same signs, add and keep, different signs, subtract. Keep the sign of the larger one, and that'll be exact. So subtract them. Negative, because the 15 is bigger. Bring down the minus 10. Doesn't combine with anything. Neither does this one. Now, let's bring down the binomial we didn't multiply by yet. Now we're going to multiply. So I don't know why, but I like to start with the smaller ones. So let's start with this one. X times 3x squared would be what, Faith? Not Faith, Elizabeth. X times 3x squared? 3x to the what? Third, very good. Third power, or cubed. Julian, x times negative 13x? Very good. And the last one there, Kaylee, x times negative 10? Negative 10x. Alright, let's move on to the 3. Martin, 3 times 3x squared. Very good. Put plus 9x to the second power. Then 3 times negative 13x. Thomas? Negative 39x. Thank you. Tyler, then 3 times negative 10. Negative 30. Okay. Now, I've been grading your homework, guys. I need you to be careful. Make sure when you multiply that you're doing the correct variable to the correct power. That way, when we combine like terms, you're doing the right one. So those two are like terms because they have the same x to the same power, and these two are like terms because they have the same x to the same power. There's no other x to the third power, so that one just comes down. Negative 13x squared plus 9x squared, same signs, add and keep, different signs, subtract. So subtract them. Keep the sign of the larger one, negative, and that'll be exact. And then same signs, we add, so 49x, and keep the sign. Same signs, add and keep. There we go. And then there's no other regular number, so just bring that negative 30 down. This is our answer. But it's easy work. Yes, it is. And we still haven't done the other ones. All right, number 2. Can you read number 2 for us there, Faith? Okay, difference means we're going to subtract. So we're going to subtract the area of A and the area of B. So first we have to find it. Well, we know that area is length times width. Well, this is my length and my width, so all we got to do is multiply them. Since this is a trinomial, for sure you want to put parentheses, and then we're going to multiply that 4x into all the terms inside there. So this is my length times my width, or my width times the length, doesn't matter. So let's start. 4x times 2x squared, Alex. 4x times 2x squared. 4 times 2? 8x to the third power. Let's go to the next one. Cynthia, 4x times negative 4x. We're multiplying. Negative 16x to the second power, right? When we multiply variables, we add their exponent. And then last one there, 4x times 9, Aaliyah Garrett. So positive 36x is correct, so put a plus. There's the area. I've seen some of you guys forget the x to the last number there. Okay, be careful. Number 2. Number 2 is two binomials are our dimensions, so we're going to have to multiply both of them. So I'm just going to write them here. I'm going to bring that one down so they're next to each other, and I can multiply or FOIL in. I like calling it the rainbow method, but whatever. So let's start on this one. X times 5x, Jocelyn. Very good. Victoria, x times negative 1. Negative 1x. Jonah, 6 times 5x. Negative or positive? Yeah. So positive 30x. And then 6 times negative 1, just negative 6, right? Alright, middle terms will combine because they're like terms. Bring down the 5x squared, negative 1 plus 30, same signs add and keep, different signs subtract. Keep the sign of the larger one, and that'll be exact. Bring down the minus 6, and there's our area. So area A, area B, or rectangle A, rectangle B. Now we're going to subtract them, but be very careful. Oops, I forgot a 2 here. When I brought it down, I forgot to put the x squared. When we subtract them, we're going to start with the one that has the highest exponent. Also, it says A and B, so we assume A is first. And we're going to subtract, but this one only has an x squared, and this one starts with x to the third power. So I don't start here, I move over, and the 5x squared goes here. That way they're with the like terms. Then the 29x goes here, and it's with the same term as it is above, x and x squared, x squared. And then the last thing there is minus 6. This one doesn't have a regular number. If you want to put something, then it would be a 0. Now I can subtract them. So Remember what I told you when we subtract? Very good. Change it to addition. And all the signs to opposite. Now this is a -5. This is a -29, and this is a +6. I'm going to put something here, it would be a 0. So just 8 plus 0 is the same thing, right? Then 16 and -5, same signs, add and keep. Add them, keep a negative. Do not add the x. We're just combining like terms, doesn't change. It only changes when we multiply. We're only combining here, so variables and the x stay the same. Then +4x and +6. Here's our answer. Alright, let's look at number 3. It's the area of the shaded region. Well, if you notice, the shaded region is right between two rectangles. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the area of the big rectangle, and we're going to subtract or take away the area of the little one. But we're only left with what's outside of it. So we're going to get the area of the rectangle is the area of the small rectangle. And we're going to find the shaded region. So let's start with the big one. Area is length times width, right? Area, length times width. We should memorize that by now. X plus 12 times 3x squared plus 7x minus 6. Let's distribute or FOIL this. Maya, x times 3x squared. Daniel, x times 7x. 7x to the what? To the second power is correct. Next one, x times -6 there. X to the -6. -6. Kaya, next one, 12 times 3 squared. Okay, very positive, so put this. 12 times 7x. 84x. Oh, sorry, I kept going. Which one's 12 times 3? One, right? Thank you. I wasn't even paying attention. I was just like, wow, that was 12 times x is 84x, and then 12 times -6. Aaliyah? -72. All right, find like term. This is an x squared. This is an x. X. No other x to the third power. Bring that down. Together, same signs, add. So that's a 43. And then signs subtract. So 78. Yes. And -72. To me, or does that look right? It looks right. There is the area of the big rectangle. The little one now. 2x 1 times x minus 5. Sebastian, 2x times x. Very good. X to the second power is 2x times -5. Chris, -10x, 1 times x. Stevie, x. 1x. 1 times negative 5, Michael? 1 times negative 5?
6.
Wow. It's negative 5. You can always use your calculator. Alright, middle terms combine. 2x squared, negative 10 and 1, same sides add. Keep different sides subtract. Keep the sign of the larger one, so 10 is larger, so it's negative. Bring down the negative 5, and that's it. Nothing else can combine, so this is the area of the small rectangle. And now we're going to subtract them. So just like the number 2, just make sure that when we subtract, that we line them up with their like terms. 2x squared, negative 9x, and negative 5. Now they're lined up. Now since we're subtracting, change it to a plus. Change all the signs on the bottom to the opposite. Now that's a negative 2, positive 9, and positive 5. Then we can combine. There's nothing here, so this is just 3x to the third. Then same signs add and keep, different sides subtract. Keep the sign of the larger one, so subtract them. The larger one is positive. 78 and 9, they're both positive, so just add them. And last one there, negative 67. And here is our answer. Alright guys, turn it over and let's add some more properties that will help you for tomorrow's quiz. I'll talk to you right now about the homework. Alright, can I turn it over? Alright, so we copied the first one, multiplying powers. Then let's do dividing powers. When we divide variables with exponents, or raised to a power, we're going to divide them, but that means that we're going to subtract, or the shortcut is to subtract the exponents. So put subtract exponents. The other property is power to a power. That's when we have parentheses, a variable with an exponent, and then outside the parentheses we have another exponent. So it's being raised to another one. So that's, when we do that, we're going to multiply the exponents. Multiply exponents. And one of the last ones would be negative exponents, or negative powers. When we have a negative exponent, remember I told you it tells us I don't belong here, I belong on the other side. So we're going to make a fraction and we're going to move it to the opposite side. If you leave the top blank, then you put a 1. When you move it down, now this has a positive exponent. In your homework, you had a problem like this, and I think a lot of people had a hard time with that one. It's the same thing. It's telling you I don't belong here, I belong on the other side. So you make a fraction and you move it to the bottom. And then 3 squared is just 9. So 3 raised to the negative 2 really is 1/9. Just be careful and don't get confused when they have something like negative 5x to the negative 3x. Only the one with the negative exponent moves. So you move that one to the opposite side, make it positive, and that negative 5 stays where it's at because this doesn't have a negative exponent. The x does, but not the 5. So that one stays like that. And then the last property we need to know for tomorrow is anything raised to the power of 0 is 1. Do not do this, b to the 1. They're not the same thing, okay? Anything raised to the 0 is 1. Why? Because if we're dividing one number by the exact same number, they always cancel out or fit perfectly into each other to give you a 1. Okay, if you're just going by the properties of exponent, then that's 5 minus 5 is 0. and that's why it's equal to 1. Okay, anything raised to the 0 is 1. Alright guys, so our homework is not really homework. This is what I'm going to do. If you want to practice for tomorrow or review for tomorrow, I need you to I need everybody to get page 161 out. Hold on. This will help you review. Now, I'm not picking it up for a grade, but if I do pick it up, it will be extra credit. Okay? Now, also look at page 162. It has a lot of examples of these properties. All right? So it can help you practice it. All right? Go ahead and open your workbooks. Nothing happened?